stack or a fat trade paperback. I
am joined by the amazing Allison O'Toole, Dan Price, Andre Owen, Fred Kennedy,
Chip Zdarsky. Chip, thanks for coming.
What's up, folks? I'm your host, Konrad, on Wednesday Night Reviews. And this time we're doing something a little different. I am joined by Angela, Brandon, and Saphira Cosplay. All y'all, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks for having us. This is fantastic.
Thank you.
Glad to hear it. It's very different for me, I must admit. So I'm very excited. I don't normally get to do con creators and cosplayers. So this is fun for me. So just to start with the same way so that everyone is sort of familiar with my format, for the folks out there who have never seen your faces or never heard your names, why don't we start with who is Angela and Brandon?
Yeah, we're small business owners in Meaford, Ontario. We actually own a pet store, of all things.
Right on.
And Brandon's on local council, and we're really involved in our community. We're raising 3 kids here. And 3 kids just like myself on the spectrum, very into all the autism classics, the anime, the video games, all the nerd stuff. And they got us into cosplaying and into anime and into conventions actually a few years back. And we said, hey, we could run conventions too. So yeah, that's we're very ambitious people apparently.
Wow. All right. I love that. And from what I understand, you are going to be, which we'll touch on soon. But once again, for the folks out there in YouTube land or live on Instagram with us, who is Saphira Cosplay?
Hi. Well, I'm full of chaos. I have been a cosplayer for like 8-9 years now. I compete in craftsmanship contests sometimes, and I'm hardcore into 3D printing. I started out like making things from scratch with foam and mixed materials, and now I've just like dove right into 3D printing. I design and print like almost everything now. So
amazing. All right, I independently have questions of that, so I will try not to get sidetracked as per what we're doing. I just want to mention currently in the chat we have, I'm gonna hope I say all these names right. We have Rain Monaco, just in general saying woohoo. Well, hello. Cyphers 2592 says, do you have any bunnies? I don't currently. I feel like one of you knows what that question's all about. If it isn't,
I know where there's gonna be.
Perfect. Taylor Blanchett 7528. Woo, Saf.
Taylor.
And then Rain Monaco. That's my boss. There's my second boss.
Oh,
love it.
The overlords are here.
Battle damaged props. Brandon is also a junior debater, as opposed to
going right for the blows immediately.
Amazing. Thank you, Taylor.
Awesome. Well, obviously, the reason we all got connected is through a mutual acquaintance, Keith Gratcho, local comic creator at the Toronto area. When he mentioned to me that you guys are putting on YetiCon, to which Captain JJB84 says, I am so Yeti.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. So y'all, give me a brief history of how you became connected to it and how this all got started for you.
Yeah, so for those who don't know, we are not the original founders of YetiCon. This is our first. We actually just took over YetiCon this year, so this is our first year running it, which is really exciting. Not something that really happens in the Ontario con industry. People don't really take over cons, so it's been a whole wild experience doing that. But yeah, like I said, we decided one day, hey, we could run some cons. Our kids will love it. It'll teach them, event planning and entrepreneurial skills. And we do big events. We do like big pet expos and things like that. So we're not unfamiliar with big event planning. And so we did the Georgian Bay Fan Con right here in Meaford, good old arena con, very community focused and everything that we loved about cons. But it's Meaford. So there's no hotels, there's no convention centers, there's no buses, so we don't have a lot of the infrastructure that you'd really like to scale something the way that we wanted to see it scaled. And so we thought, okay, like maybe we can do something a little bit different with this. And out of the blue, the previous owners of YetiCon called us and said, "Hey, we'd love you to buy YetiCon." And we're like, "We'd love to do that too." Done. so that's how we got connected to YetiCon. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. And Saphira, how about yourself? How did you get involved with YetiCon? What's going on there?
Yeah, so again, interesting story. So my real life job, which involves a golf course, that's close to the Georgian Bay Fan Club that Angela and Brandon run. So mutual friend of Angela and Brandon's that knew both of us, he texts me one day and he's like, "Hey, you're into that costume dress up stuff, right?" And I'm like, "A little bit, yeah." So we connected and pretty much been inseparable after that. You know, when you find your like local nerds that like, you know, are serious during the day with business, but then like nerdy after hours, like that's just amazing. So I helped them last year bring cosplay to GB FanCon, and then we took a moment to regroup when the YetiCon opportunity came forward, and I guess I'm going to stay on.
We took a moment, literally a moment to regroup, and then we just went full steam.
Yep.
From
just jumped in.
Holy crap.
There's been no more moments since then. It's just been
we're already late.
Yes.
Love it. Well, it sounds like you guys are starting fast and fierce. Cyphers here says, Angela and Brandon, I have faith in you all, driving 7 hours to get there from New York.
Awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
We will buy you a drink.
There you go. Love it. Rain Monaco says, such a parent thing to say you're into the costume thing, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I guess to get this started off, one, I'm going to throw up the cons page on here. So we're all going to get squished a little bit. And what I wanted to talk about, so right off the bat, when Keith had mentioned it to me and I jumped in here, like I've seen YetiCon in the past because I'm in the Richmond Hill area, the GTA. It's like a 4 or 5 hour drive for me, I believe. So I haven't ever gone before, but the moment he mentioned he was talking to you guys, I was like, oh, I'll go check it out. We'll see. And, you know, this pops up. We got awesome cosplayer shots here. The site looks really nice. But I clicked on that, and the moment I hamburgered and it came out and it said daytime after dark, my brain went, oh, hold on. Hold on a minute. And immediately that naughty little part of my brain clicked on after dark. And I was like, well, what's going on here? And so I dove into it. Now, much like the show, and because I've really reviewed the site now and I've gone through it, much like the show, I don't want to just go into the devious little part that we could. But I wanted to talk with you guys about the way that you've arranged this con. So I guess as a general statement, how have you arranged this con, and what made you want to set it up, splitting it day and night? Whoever
that's a really good question.
Yeah.
No, that's a great question, Konrad. So first things first, and this is a common misconception. Blue Mountain Village is actually only a 2-hour drive from the Toronto area.
Oh,
so
love it.
A lot of people don't realize it's right in your backyard. So I mean,
say that again.
It's right in your backyard.
Love it. 2 hours, easy peasy.
Yeah,
good start.
Exactly.
All right.
So when we first took over YetiCon, we kind of were looking at it from a brand new lens, and it's not your traditional convention. It's nothing like your traditional convention. It's a vacation. It is a resort con. It is a destination con. It is a party. It is a family getaway. It's all these things all rolled into one, but it's so different from any experience you're going to get in any con that you go to like traditionally.
Mm-hmm.
And so we started talking to people, lots and lots of people. And I'm talking back to back meetings for like a straight month. We talked to as many people as we could in the community. And we also did surveying, and there we go. 2 hours. Perfect. And we did a lot of surveying. We did some online surveys. We got hundreds of responses. And what we found is that there was sort of these conflicting feelings in the community that, yes, YetiCon is like my fun getaway vacation. During the day, I love to do all these panels. I love to do all these fun games. But in the evening, I want to become a different type of con goer. I want after dark stuff. I want after dark shopping. I want, after dark panels. I want parties. I want raves. I want, to taste local distillery products. Like all these things kept coming up and we kept seeing all these patterns. And we thought, hey, you guys really like to party, don't you? So we kind of broke it up into the YetiCon daytime. We've got, the Anime Sports Olympics. We've got the Mermaid Dunk Tank. We have the swimsuit fashion show, foam party. We've got panels, tons of panels. We've got shopping. We've got so many things happening during the day. And then after dark, we kind of switch the tone. And it becomes about the parties. It comes about the drinking, really, because it is a resort con. It becomes about the after dark panels and the shopping, and it like the very different type of shopping that you don't do with your kids. And so we thought, what, let's really make a clear distinction. And part of that too is we really want to encourage what I've learned in the community is often referred to as the normies, not the super nerds, but they come with their kids, or they come because they're really into comic books or superheroes or something, and they just want to come shop, but they don't really do like the panels or the parties or those types of activities so much. They're just like, I want to go and do some shopping and buy some merch, and then that's what I do. And we kind of wanted to make it clearer that there's a lot of activities that we do here that you're probably not interested in, and this is when they happen. And there's a lot of activities here that we really want you to try because I think you'd love them, and they're during the day in the hours where you're still comfortable easing into that con experience. So there was kind of two different parts to it. And of course, there's also the confusion of if we have after hours panels, well, can I go there because I'm only 17? No, you can't. So now we have after dark. You have to be drinking age. It just makes everything clear and easy to understand too. So yeah, just when the lights go down, the nerds get down, I guess.
Put that on the website.
Yes, absolutely.
Spoken like a
I
true
love
nerd.
that. 100%. Well, so one, let's see here. I got some more comments. As someone from the Toronto area, I'm happy to go out there, out of that area, and get a hotel and have a mini vacation. So excited to be part of the After Dark Bunny Hill Showcase.
Yay, Chrislyn.
I'm only here for the waterfall.
We all
thank you for bringing back
pressure.
the burlesque show for the thank you for bringing back the burlesque show for the evening events. So clearly there's a lot of people who are very much so interested in the more adult oriented stuff, and again, I very much want to touch on that. I'm also going to throw this up there because my ego. Cool. Thank you so much, Rain. What I like though is that you very clearly divided it. So when I went through, and again, I'll throw up the site here. So this is the daytime
on the site, Konrad. Sorry to interrupt you. We are still building this site. There's dozens and dozens of things that are still being added to that. So
oh my,
stay tuned. Like we have an absolute jam-packed 3-day schedule. So there's a lot being added to it still.
Good to hear. But yes, like so far, daytime programming. So this is the fun stuff that everyone can come in, play, have fun, relatively kid friendly. Masquerade cosplay contest, wonderful. Swimsuit fashion show and foam party. I have questions because of the nature of that, but it's okay. One of the coolest things I thought, Legend of the Lens photo competition. Magical tea party sounded super cool. I'm not gonna lie, I cannot say that second word.
Nominoichi.
Thank you, Nerdy Nominoichi. Anime Sports Olympics, Blizzard Bash Idol Showcase, Killjoy Live, which was the most amazing thing to me in my brain when I wrapped my head around that. So for the daytime fun, I guess I would like to start with Legend of the Lens photo competition. What is that?
Okay, that is a great question. So I'm going to do a little bit of backstory here.
Go for it.
When we first started getting into YetiCon, really getting to the weeds, really doing our research in the initial stages back in sort of the end of, the beginning of December, I guess, is when we first started saying, hey, I think this is a thing that we're going to do. I started to notice that there's sort of two different types of cons. There's those community cons that are really, they're driven by the community. They're really heavily focused on community activities. And then you have your large scale, more commercial types of conventions. And I started to see sort of some gaps, like some gaps in the market, I guess, in kind of both of those. And one thing I noticed was that there's so much emphasis on cosplay, on social media content, on photo taking, on photo shoots. Some of the cons are setting up huge photo props and things like that. Like, it's just insane. And there's awards, and there's cosplay awards, and there's contests for everybody except for the photographers. And I thought, you know what? The photographers they're really a workhorse of that whole piece. Without them, that whole piece wouldn't exist. One of them, some of them should win awards. So we came up with the idea of the Legend of the Lens photo contest, and it's still, So one of my favorite cosplay photographers, Paul Hillier, he's heading up as one of the judges. He's the main judge for this, and he's leading the whole thing. And so we're still working out the details, and that's going to be posted sometime in the next week. I think we have most of the details really eked out on that.
Amazing.
But it's going to be an opportunity for photographers to submit some of their best work. And we have some judges who are really top-notch cosplay photographers from the US as well, and as well as Canada. So all over North America, who are going to be really spending the time to critique these photos. And we will have them professionally printed. We will have an exhibit at the con. And we'll be announcing the winners. Yeah. So the last thing that happens on the Sunday to close off the event will be announcing the winners of that competition.
That sounds amazing. So from my understanding of it, and do correct me if I'm wrong, and I appreciate this is a very much so living thing. You're having all these actual professional photographers come up. But from what I was reading and what I understood, if I went there with my camera, I would be able to submit to that as well. Is that correct?
Yeah, so it's going to be submissions in advance, because they will be critiquing in advance. They'll be picking the winners long before.
Okay.
Yeah, we kind of went through different variations with it, because if you're not familiar with YetiCon, it's important to note that specifically it is an absolute hotspot for cosplay photography, just because of the location. It is absolutely gorgeous there. You can take 10 steps into a field and get the most incredible shot. So this was something we wanted to highlight for the community with the photographers. So we were trying to work out, well, do we do it during the weekend? Is that too rushed? And now it's going to be more you submit in advance, but the stipulation is it has to be a cosplay specific photograph. It doesn't necessarily have to be from YetiCon, but we would love it if it was. That would be great to showcase some spots. But
hint, hint.
Hint, nudge, nudge. Okay, all right. So basically, the photographers out there who might be watching live with us now on YouTube or Instagram, or sometime in the next 3 months prior to the con, basically, if nothing else, they can go through their catalog, pull out their best 1 or 2 photos, and get ready to submit them, and then hint, hint, nudge, nudge, maybe ideally be able to take some shots on a Friday, send them in and get them graded, maybe. Beautiful. So then, you know what? Well, why don't we transition from one side of the lens to the other? For the daytime stuff, we've got the swimsuit fashion show, the Blizzard Bash Idol show, Anime Sports Olympics, all these sort of amazing events. Tell me about them. How do they work? What are the rules? What's the idea of the fun?
Oh my gosh, where do you even begin with all this?
I know. I'm actually going to begin by grabbing the schedule. So.
Please do.
Like I said,
that's how we work, because we're going through so much, we forget half of it. We're like, oh yeah.
I know. Actually, Konrad, just now when you said about the photography contest that they have 3 months, both of Saphira and I both at the same time thought, oh my God, it's only 3 months.
Yeah, so
sorry.
That's all the time we have today, folks. Sorry. Well, thanks for coming in. I want to get back to
so we and like I said, there's so much still being uploaded to the website. There is a ton. There's a ton that's happening. But one thing that I want to highlight about these events, so the 3 events that you just named, for example, the swimsuit fashion show, they're all community run and community driven. So we have Christian Pereira, who is a cosplayer. He's running the Marvel swimsuit fashion show, and it's outdoors. We wanted to make it a foam party too, because yay, that's fun. And
absolutely.
YetiCon is it's a summer camp vacation. It's a resort con. It's people spend a lot of time by the pool at YetiCon, and we can't have a pool in the convention center, but we can definitely have a foam party. So, it was kind of the next best thing.
Okay. Yeah.
Really cool for your balance. Yeah. And the photos are going to be awesome with the foam party too. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. And we'll have a DJ. It's going to be a good kind of middle of the day hangout spot. The Anime Sports Olympics is a really cool one. We've got Concussion Cosplay, who actually I think he just graduated as he's like a neurologist, and it's a hilarious name.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, that works well.
And he's always wanted to do sort of an Olympics that's based on sports, different sports that you commonly see in animes. And finally, this was an outlet to do it.
That's
so
fun.
That's going to be incredible. We'll have signups coming up for that soon, and there'll be teams, there'll be team captains, they'll be making banners and parading through the village. They've got a number of different sports. There's like dodgeball and tug of war, and a number of different sports that they'll be doing, and then they'll be crowning a winning team at the end of the event. And there's really good prizes for it as well. So, so that's one that we were doing. The Blizzard Bash Idol is something that's quite popular at a lot of cons, and it's going to be really cool. It's basically singing, dancing. It's a talent. It's sort of similar to a talent show type of thing. It's an eat at home party, nice. And so
Gotcha.
Those are some of the things that we've
bucket
got.
Of my scraps, like suckers. You get 2 millimeter. You get 4 millimeter.
Okay, calm down.
Sorry, cosplay joke.
But
sorry, comic book community.
Yeah, we have so much going on. I cannot emphasize that enough. But there's a ton of indoor stuff, but there is a lot of outdoor stuff, and a lot of that outdoor stuff too is themed meetups. So at a lot of conventions, you'll see people will meet. Well, sometimes they'll plan it in advance. Sometimes you just show up and hope that you find people that are dressed just like you. That's why you see those memes with everyone dressed as Spider-Man, for example. And so what we're trying to do is really emphasize that, because the themed meetups, the photography are such a big part of YetiCon. So we actually have a number of outdoor meetups that we're planning. And so we've got, like, for example, a Legend of Zelda meetup, and we have Lexa Jades, who actually plays the ocarina, which is an instrument that's very popular. And so she'll be playing while they do that photo meetup. And so we're adding a lot of layers to them to make them fun. So yeah, there's just, I honest to God, like, I could spend an hour reading off everything on the schedule and not get through it all, because there's
and yes,
so
to the cosplay
much.
parade, there's still the glow parade that's gonna kind of kick off the party on Friday night, that goes to the Iceberg Lounge and the Bunny Hill. So
right on.
It's a fan favorite event for sure.
100%. Okay.
My favorite is the debate that we just sorted out. Brandon.
The junior debater.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's your thing.
I hate to throw Battle Damage Props under the bus, because he's
boy.
already a runner-up and it hasn't even begun yet. But he and I are going to be debating a pretty fun topic that I think is going to be of interest to a lot of people, is just talking about whether today's superhero action movies of today are better than the ones from yesteryear, or is it nostalgia that's sort of clouding our judgment, and then we're reminiscing about the good old days and whether or not today's productions are equivalent or not. So it's gonna be really fun. And sorry, Battle Damage Props,
Don't
but
give away too
you
much.
got your homework for you, so start taking notes, bro.
He's there with the notes, just being like, all right, what do we got? What do we got? Fascinating. That's really cool. And like, I find it interesting. There's the joke. I like the.
Sorry, we have a silly community, but I love it.
No, hey,
Yes.
you know what? Silly is fun, and I like it. And even from just what's coming through here, and just the way you guys are talking, I'm really liking the community-oriented mentality that this con has. So, for a little context for you guys, because this is the first time we're meeting, I have heavily been into comics most of my life. I'm sure, like most of you, like I grew up on the 1992 Batman show, that whole range of, Justice League, all that kind of stuff. So for me, it's been DC a lot all my life. 2011 kicked in, DC did the New 52, so I finally started getting actual like monthly comics. Prior to that, it was graphic novels, and then 4 or 5 years into that, I started doing this, and that's when I've kind of transitioned into indie comics, for a variety of reasons, but it's where I felt I could give support. And so the cons that I've been to are obviously the big popular ones: Fan Expo Canada, Toronto Comic Con, TCAF, and then a variety of smaller shows as you get more community based. And the bigger those get, the more they tend to feel like they don't really care about the community. Mind you, there's a lot of support for them, like I will say, because the artist alleys on the community end, especially for comics, have always been amazing. That's where I meet a lot of people that come on this show. But the mentality you have about the show, I'm really enjoying. And the types of events that you're setting up, again, the fact that you're having a photo competition to support the people in the community who will be coming, all of that kind of stuff really makes it interesting. Battle Damage Props has come in. Let's change the debate topic. DC makes better animated movies than it does live action movies. Battle Damage Props. That's not a question or a debate. That is a fact.
Oh, here we go. Plus one, go.
Yeah, I've only been to Anime North and YetiCon for Canada cons, mostly US for me. Very fair. I would recommend Cyphers if you could make it. TCAF is awesome. It's in a hockey arena now. But yeah, so that's my spiel so far. I'm really into this. I guess.
Sorry, I actually want to add on to what you're
Go
saying.
for it. Yeah.
It's been I'm like very new to this convention organizing, and I didn't know that like my past like 8-9 years of experience being a fly on the wall in the cosplay community would have like oh, here we go. I'll keep it brief, I swear. It's been so rewarding because I've had all this like, fly on the wall perspective from the community that I've been able to bring into this process. And I feel like we're just a reflection of the community because it's not like we've sat down and we said, we really want this event and this event and this event. Like when you go and look at the schedule, what's happened is we've just opened the door to conversations and people are coming to us with an idea that they are passionate about and they want to do. And we're just giving them a space to do it and encourage them. And then we're tacking on like our weird, crazy ideas on top of it. If we can, like foam party. Oh, you want to do a swimsuit fashion show? Well, it's a foam party now. Oh, we want to do a rave party. Well, it's on top of a mountain now. Like so it's win-win, but it's been just so amazing to be able to like pull the community in because like basically they're planning this with us. So
yeah, that really touches on a point that's important to us. It's really kind of near and dear to us. And I know I was saying that when we first started kind of doing our research and we realized that there's sort of these big box cons and then there's the smaller community cons. Yeah. You don't find a ton of cons in Canada in that sort of mid-sized con that are really still community focused. So it was really eye-opening for me when we first started meeting with people and they, like I'll give you an example. We had someone who was a master level award-winning wig stylist who is going to be doing a panel on how to style like a very specific type of wig that's very popular in the anime world. And she said, I really, really hate to ask this, but we're driving up there and we're getting a hotel and this. Would you be okay with covering the cost of some glue and scissors? And I said, why would you pay for that? And she goes, because at every con, the person putting on the panel pays for all of the resources. And that to me was a really big eye-opening moment. I said, well, then why do you do it if you have to cover all the costs? And she said, because if we didn't, nobody would. And that kind of struck a nerve for me. And I thought, that's not how we want this to be. So, we're not doing YetiCon as a for-profit venture because you just don't do a con as a for-profit venture. We're doing it as a hope we break even venture. But yeah, all the panels and things that we're doing, the resources that are needing, we're like, okay, we're going to find a way to fund this. We're going to find sponsors. We're going to build it into the ticket, but whatever we need to do, because we don't want the community paying to put on the show, that it just doesn't feel right for me. But it's such our vision for it is to be such a community-driven, community evolved is really the word that I'm looking for, because every year we want this con to continue to grow and evolve based on what the community wants it to be. And we're kind of just like the parents that are just making it happen for our kids, I guess. We just want to see this con be what people want it to be. And we're not looking at it from, a shareholder perspective. And we're also doing it to make friends. That's true.
YetiCon is the friends you make along the way. That's in a nutshell.
100%. I love it. Now, we had a question in the chat earlier. I'm just going to try and find it because I think it's a good question to ask. A random question: is YetiCon more anime, more gaming, or more comics?
That's a great question.
Thoughts, feelings,
that is
opinions.
a very good question. So this is also, again, you're pulling out all of our secrets here, Konrad. So
I didn't do nothing. This is your community.
So when we first took over YetiCon, and so let's backtrack a little bit. The family that started YetiCon, really, really lovely people. They've been amazing to work with, and they're very anime heavy family, and YetiCon has always been very anime heavy, and just in cosplay in general, there does tend to be a very heavy sway in the anime direction, which is lovely.
I mean, character design is crazy in anime, of course.
It is, and it's incredibly impressive when you see all of the details on a costume, and you're like, okay, so in the actual anime, the belt is literally just a rectangle, but you came up with it's incredible what it blows my mind. But they're very big anime lovers, and we're coming at it, my husband and I, as we're video game nerds. Like, I play MUDs, multi-user dungeons. I don't know if you ever did text-based gaming back in the 80s, 90s. So that's my jam. And my husband's very much into the Gears of War, the Call of Duty, the shooters, and we're really on and the sci-fi. We're big sci-fi nerds. So we saw kind of that there was some doors opening where people were like, can we add D&D? Could we play Warhammer there? Could we do, and so we said, yeah, like this, let's push it out, and it can become a fandom convention. And one thing that a lot of people don't know about YetiCon is that, so it's in a ski resort, sort of little village. And then there's this big conference center off to the side, and that's where the event takes place. But there's actually 2 other conference centers in the village.
Oh, right on.
So yeah, so our dream is to make it a sort of a much larger fandom convention where we've got all the anime and manga and cosplay, like all these things are happening here. We got D&D and Warhammer, and those nerds are over here, and we got pinball over here, and we just have, there's so much space that we can really make it a multi-fandom convention. We're looking at how can we incorporate horror fandoms, for example. There's so many things that we could bring into the con, and we have there's tons of space for growth there. But so it has, so that's a very long answer to your question, but it has historically been very anime heavy, and we're looking to expand it into multiple fandoms.
Love
Especially
into the comic world.
Exactly. All about the comic world.
You know what? On that, I already know, because I've been through the website. I've reached out and talked to people and really wanted to get a sense of it. One thing I appreciate you guys doing is you are having an episode of Sketchelmania there. For the folks out there on YouTube, love it. For those of you who don't know, or maybe you have no idea what Sketchelmania is, Martin Slam Duncan is a wonderful comic creator. I believe he's based in the GTA. I may be very wrong about that, but he comes to just about every con you can think of, and he puts on this show called Sketchelmania, where he takes 3 or 4 different comic book artists, and they have basically a cage match style sketch battle where they will take some off the wall ideas, draw it out, and it is all done in the format of a wrestling match. So he actually gets up there and gets on the mic, and he really goes for it, delivers some wacky names for everybody. You get some really cool drawings out of the deal, and then often they will auction them off, I've seen. So I just love that you're having him on, because I think that's fantastic. And then on the comics end as well, I know that Keith is coming up to do, I believe, 2 separate creator sessions to help people get creative and get their sketch on, which I love.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we're really excited.
For the connection there. Woo!
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah,
So I guess we're 34 minutes in. I personally am very curious about the Magical Tea Party, and then after that question, we can shift on to the nighttime part of the show. So tell me about the Magical Tea Party, because what I envisioned, what my brain had said was, it'll be like an hour event. There'll be like a little afternoon tea or something with tea and sandwiches. And that is not what I have come to understand. And I'm very much curious about this. So whomever would like to fill me in on it, go for it. I want to hear about it.
Certainly. So the Magical Tea Party is an event that's taken place every year at YetiCon. It's a fundraiser. So the previous owners had, I believe it was Bear Creek Sanctuary that they supported. We are moving on, kind of putting our own flavor on it. So we will be doing the same thing. Doing the same thing. It's going to, so all of the proceeds from the event will go towards charity, and we're currently debating between a few different LGBTQ plus charities in the GTA. So that's where we're looking to put those funds. So in the past, it's been just a really fun event. Beautiful old teacups and tea and Japanese cookies. And and it's just a lot of fun. There's usually like a live harpist or live music, and people love it for like the photos. It's a fun time to hang out with your friends, have high tea, and the photos are fantastic. So of course, us coming in here with our ADHD and our audacity decided, hey, what can we do with this? But how can we, put our own flavor on it? So I'm not going to say we're Bridgerton nerds, but I'm not going to say we're not Bridgerton nerds.
Oh, I noticed there.
So this year, I mean, with the new season of Bridgerton coming out, we thought, you know what? Let's make it a Bridgerton themed party. There you go. Nice. And so we are. So it's going to be very heavily Bridgerton coded, as the kids say these days. We have a phenomenal live music. Bridget O'Regan, she is award-winning. Yes, she's absolutely incredible. And she's been in tons and tons of movies. She's flown all over the world to play, and she's a cosplay nerd. And she's like, you know what? I love YetiCon. Let's do it. So she'll be playing for the tea party. Yeah. There's going to be some different photo op props there, which is, because it's all about, the cosplay and the photography. And then we also have, it's been a long day. Yeah. We also have Altered LARP, which is a live action role playing LARPing group. They're the fun nerds that go out in the woods with armor and swords and stuff, and they just go at it. And so they're going to be doing something that's a secret, but they will be at some point doing something at the tea party as well. So it's it's going to be a blast. It's going to be a lot of fun. And tickets are about 70% sold out. So if you are planning,
jump on it.
$15. Yeah, it's only $15. Proceeds go to charity, and it's just a really good time.
Amazing. Ben, damn, yeah, I think that's awesome. Almost sold out. So folks, if you're into it, and you'll be into it, get in there. Get your tickets now. You have 14 weeks, 1 day, 4 hours, 19 minutes, and 18 seconds. I am so sorry. Before the show starts.
I thought we were going to be friends. But
I'm sorry.
I'm feeling a little weird right now about this.
How much time is left on this podcast? We got to get back to it.
Yeah, exactly. Time is ticking. I think it's fantastic, though, and I really like the idea behind it, especially the proceeds go to charity. I think it's wonderful to be able to help everyone out. Rain coming in, go, go, go. Absolutely. What I did want to ask before we hop on to the night stuff, Saphira, I would like to hear a little bit more from you. So on the daytime end of it, what can people expect from you? Will they see you, or are you going to be working behind the scenes? What's that going to look like for you?
Little A, little B. We're trying to promise ourselves that we're putting all the work in now so that we can enjoy the weekend. But I feel like I know myself and I have to get in there. Mm-hmm. Again, the ADHD and the audacity, I keep saying, oh, I want to make that. Oh, I want to make that too. And that. So I'll probably be in a corner crying or putting something together, hopefully in cosplay.
At the same time, you can do both. You can multitask.
Absolutely. You got this.
Yep. I got this. It's fine. Everything's fine.
You had to turn the printer off before the show started, so we know you're going to work hard at it. You got
this. I'll just bring my printer with me. It's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we are seriously trying to put all the work in now so that it goes as smoothly as possible. Like I love the decorating and that kind of like creating the atmosphere and the vibes. Like that's really important to me. So like that's just as much fun. So I'll definitely be there everywhere And then, yeah, I actually will be judging and running a masquerade contest. That was something that came back on the survey that people wanted to have back. And there's now like 3 or 4 cosplay style competitions now. But the main one that I am running is a more casual masquerade style.
Okay.
And we're hoping to kind of gear it more towards casual cosplayers. There's no craftsmanship element or requirement. We want it to be open to anybody that maybe you just want to, really like emphasize the character and the spirit and the energy. You're not so much into like making every little piece of your cosplay, or maybe you put a lot of work into your cosplay and you just want to walk across the stage and everybody tell you how pretty you are. That's totally cool. So that should be a really great time, and hopefully is well received, because we're kind of pulling from all different types of flavors of contest into one to see what people like, and then we'll
right on.
tweak it as we move forward for what the community ends up wanting to do with it.
Okay. I mean, I totally dig that. One thing, so I have never cosplayed. It's not my shtick, although I love seeing it. Because I think a lot of things that you've talked about were like the ingenuity of cosplayers, the ability of them to create stuff that I don't even understand how they made it. I love that. And one thing that I've always been curious about is, how do you judge a competition like that, where, like, for me, like looking behind you, Saf, you have all these crazy helmets, you've got all sorts of props, you've got these, the LED lights going absolutely haywire back there and having a blast. You've got
this is what the inside of my brain looks
Yes,
like.
yeah,
is what I do
exactly.
when I'm on my
He's not
live
lying.
stream. Like,
It
I know
really
that
does.
we're in here right now. Like you'll get this. Like I'm like, this is what my brain looks like, and I'm just trying to explain my ideas to Angela. Like I'll half type something out. I'm like, I'm just calling you. It's easier.
But like so one of my questions was, when it comes to judging a cosplay contest, like I follow a couple cosplayers out there, and what I think is really cool is, not only do they model their own stuff, and they do a really good job of it, they show you the process of like molding foam and 3D printing parts and making masks and belt buckles and all sorts of weird, crazy armor. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, how could you, even in like a sane way, I guess, judge something like that level of ingenuity and creativity, and then compare it to someone who maybe has basic sewing skills, so they do the same type of costume, but they do it maybe much more, and this is going to sound really mean, but flat, because they're only doing it out of cloth.
Yeah.
Where, to me, let me be clear, I don't think it's any less work. I don't think it's any easier. It's just a different skill set and a different set of tools.
Yeah.
But they would look very different. And then you have cosplayers who, go out and buy like the one piece thing that's got the print on it, and maybe it fits their form very well, and so they get a lot of attention that way. Like there's very different ways that people cosplay, bordering from like engineering, which is like what you're doing, to like basically modeling with something very simple on.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, my brain can't sort out how you would judge that. And so I like the idea that you're breaking them apart, but can you talk a little on the type of different things people can expect?
Yeah, so brilliant question, because like the short answer is you can't, like, essentially. That's
Right?
why you'll find, if you kind of do a deeper dive on cosplay competitions, that there's different formats, because there just kind of has to be. So if you are more like a maker and you want to make a build from scratch, whether it's sewing or 3D modeling or foam smithing, then that's more of a craftsmanship contest, and that requires prejudging and build books, and the judges get trapped in the judges room all day. Their whole Saturday's
Interesting.
gone. They don't get to eat or drink. It's just like all they do is judge people all day. And so then on the other side of that, like you have like the more casual closet cosplays, right? And what I wanted to do with this contest, because there's so many varieties, and sorry, there's like a third one as well, where some people just want to do more of a skit based, and then
Yeah, I've seen that.
I won't blow your mind too much, but then you actually can combine the craftsmanship and the skit, and that's like a whole other thing. So trying to basically create a casual contest where you can judge all those things equally. I'm trying to fall back on like the stage presence, enthusiasm, and spirit, like there's no way else to do it, because we didn't want our judges to be like give up their whole day for a judge based for like the craftsmanship. We will in the future if like we end up getting feedback that's what people want. But we really just wanted to have an opportunity for people that are like kind of intimidated to maybe apply to some of the bigger conventions, because there really aren't that many in Ontario. So let's say you're too scared or too nervous or too intimidated to apply to like Fan Expo or something like that. This could be kind of like your entryway to see, do I even like getting on stage? Maybe I am too scared. Maybe, it's not for me. Like we just want to create an opportunity for that. And then also those that maybe just want to really create a cool skit and have fun with it. And then also those that just want to be like, hey, I made this really amazing thing. Like, you should see it.
I like that. You know what? Like, I think you're right. Like, because the variety I've seen is crazy. And you mentioned it there, like allowing people to, and having them in it, depending on the type of I guess, curriculum or the scoreboards, if you will, of the words stumbling. It's fine. Brain, sort yourself. Click. Okay, if you're dividing up the competition of the cosplays into like more technical engineering, costuming, and then super casual, anyone can join, and then doing sort of a split where you're allowing people to do a little bit of both, but putting the emphasis on energy and like, can they bring that character to life, no matter how technical or non-technical they are. Like if someone, for instance, got onto a stage and had like a really orange colored tracksuit on with a headband, but could come out and really get that voice, get that energy across, I think that deserves something. Whereas if someone has like a knit perfect version of Naruto's costume, but maybe they're not super high energy, or maybe they're really nervous, they can also earn and be rewarded for that. And I think that's wicked. So allowing people to come, fantastic.
Exactly.
Real quick comment. Cursling Cosplay says I should cosplay Coop from Megas XLR, which is a hell of my childhood. Thank you. I'm not willing to lose the beard, but I'd love to do it. Yes. So I guess we've got like 13 minutes left, less actually. So let's cover the night. At the beginning of the show, I am very enthusiastic about the fact that this show is split day and night. So at YetiCon, when will night start?
That, I mean, I guess it depends on who you are as a person, but typically around 5 o'clock. So 5 o'clock is when, you know, the loot hall, which is our vendor hall, artist alley, the dealer's room, all that stuff. That's when that closes. And that tends to be kind of around the time where there's that energy switch. People are okay, it's time to start drinking if they haven't already. It's time to grab some dinner because we've been drinking so much. You know, the normies have done, they've done their version of what they like to do at the con. And then now we've got people that are like, okay, I want to do like some really weird nerd stuff. So that's kind of around that seems to be kind of the sweet spot for the after dark. And so there's a few different components to after dark. So there's the parties, which is a big thing. People love the parties. We've got some incredible DJs and musical talent lined up this year. And then there's like the panels, and then there's like some different workshops and things. So I'm happy to talk about, you know, any of those that you're interested in hearing more about.
I mean, I guess I'll tell you why this interests me so much. I think it's such an interesting idea that I have gone to for the last 15 years now. Toronto Comic-Con, Fan Expo Canada, TCAF, pretty much without fail, every single show every year. And what I'm noticing is a lot of the emphasis that gets put on cosplay is out there, and like you said, they do a lot of this stuff where like in the larger opener areas where like it's just before the halls, they'll set up like a red carpet area and they'll have photographs, and it's really cool. And I like that. But what I'm finding is any sort of adult oriented stuff, because it's there and the show is just open, it's just there. And for instance, I remember multiple times, I can't believe I'm going to say this word, I'd be walking through and you'll be in like Artist Alley and you'll see the body pillows, right? And you'll see the ones where it's like pretty much a naked anime character with pasties on. And in my brain, I'm thinking, yeah, someone's absolutely totally into that. And like, if it was the right character, yeah, probably I'd get one. Why not? But then my brain goes, what if I want to bring my 9 and 10-year-old nephew and niece here? And my brain goes, I don't love it. And I get why it gets tailored away. And so the idea to me of like cracking it in two and going, okay, fun kids come here after this time, go away. Nighttime, adult people have fun.
Yeah.
And then, you know, pasties and BDSM and whatever the heck else adults want to do can come out and play. So one, I like the idea. I guess my main question, and let me just pull up the After Dark schedule. Probably the burlesque show. I like a good show. Everyone loves entertainment. On the website, and here, I'll take the chat out for a sec. Ooh, is it going to let me take the chat out? I have not done this part before. Bear with me. There we go. And here we are. So this is your shot. The Nerd Girls Burlesque is up here. So tell me, I guess, starting from that, because this gives people a pretty darn good idea of what we're talking about when we say adult-oriented content. How did this come about? What was it like getting in contact with these different organizations to be able to do this? And yeah, what can people expect, I guess?
So as I said before, we've been doing a lot of surveying, and something that came up, probably 40% of the respondents in the hundreds of survey responses we had was bring back burlesque. We love burlesque. Like, we want more adult stuff. Please do burlesque. And it was so popular. We said, okay, yeah, that's great. That's kind of one of the first things that got us onto this kick of, should we have like after hours programming? And that kind of led to splitting it into the After Dark sort of portion. Okay. Yeah. And the process was like remarkably normal. I Googled nerdy burlesque Toronto, sent a DM to the first ones. They responded right away. I signed a contract and paid them. You know, so it was
clear cut. Yeah. All right, done. Next thing.
Done. On to the next. Like it was super easy. They're very professional. And one thing that we really love about burlesque, and it has a lot of crossover in theming to sort of the cosplay community, is there's a lot of emphasis on body positivity. Oh, and yeah. That's something that I just really, really love about burlesque. So it's a show that's like, it's fun, it's spicy, but it's also really kind of makes you feel good too. So yeah, really excited about the burlesque show. I've actually never been to one in person before. I've only seen them online. So this is exciting
for you.
Yeah.
Right on. Okay. And then I guess overall, because we don't have too much time left, overall, what can people expect from the nighttime end of it, other than, of course, a wonderful burlesque show? What kind of things can they buy? There's mention of panels. So what kind of panels and shopping can people expect from the night half of the show?
Certainly. And so there's, like I said, there's the parties, the panels, and the shows. So with the parties, we've got the Iceberg Lounge on Friday night. That's our kickoff rave style, go hard or go home party. There's a cosplay contest there. That's the Bunny Hill Showcase. So turning your cosplay into a bunny suit. And we've had plenty of ladies and some gentlemen apply as well, which is
glad to hear.
Very exciting to see. Yeah. So we've got that. And then we have the mountaintop party. And I see a few people have asked about the gala, which is our mountaintop party. Yes, it is actually up on the mountain. So there's shuttles, but there's also a gondola. Yeah. So you can take a gondola to go up there. It's a beautiful spot to party. It overlooks the entire
Right.
resort. It's gorgeous at night. It's and there's going to be food, there's going to be drinks, there's going to be music, there's going to be entertainment. It's going to be a really, really good time. It's a little bit more upscale, but there's no real dress code. You can wear whatever you want. I know a lot of people have asked about that, and it's an Asgard theme. So I don't know if you've heard of it's called Thor. You may have heard.
I'm sorry. I'm so
familiar.
sorry, guys. We've been practicing. I've tried my best.
No, I've actually started watching the series now. Which is really exciting.
That's good.
Yeah. And then after that, we have there's going to be an after party in the building. It's going to be a pretty big one as well. So we've got the 3 different parties, and there is also on the Saturday night the blanket fort party. So this is a really popular thing that's been going on for years. When I first heard about it, I was like, okay, so people make a blanket fort and then they drink in their blanket fort. And everyone I talked to said, yeah, and sometimes they fall asleep. I'm like, okay, why not? So we're doing a One Piece theme this year with the new live action coming out, and that's going to be a lot of fun.
Very cool.
And then we have the After Dark Market, which is going to be on the Saturday. And things that you can expect, we're going to have professional dominatrix there teaching workshops on BDSM 101. We have a chair dancing workshop. We have, sorry, I'm going from shopping into workshops here.
It's all good.
Body pillows, like hand-drawn hentai, that kind of artwork that you can't really sell in a family-friendly artist alley. So it's an outlet for those artists to be able to showcase their work, which is really cool. We have some coming that do like bondage, like cuffs and things like that are handmade out of leather, like leather workers.
Beautiful.
And, stuff like that. There's all kinds of cool stuff, and then we have a little bit of oddities and curiosities that'll be in that market as well, which is really fun. And then the panels are a very broad range. Like I said, we have like the chair dancing workshop, for example. We have one of my favorites. So there's an e-girl coming up from Chicago, actually. Her first time coming to YetiCon. She was so excited when she heard about us. And she's going to be doing a panel called Unhinged DMs. And she's going to be reading out the most unhinged DMs that people have sent to her. Yeah, and it's a keep a straight face kind of thing. So she's going to have a competition where people volunteer to come up and read them out and have to keep a straight face. And fun, silly stuff like that. We've got Hentai Jeopardy. We've got like speed dating, those kinds of things. Yeah, that one's going to be that's going to be a learning curve for me, but I'm excited about it. Yeah, and there's there's performances. There's a Has Been Hotel meetup, that like photo meetup that they're going to be doing. There's so many different things. There's a few different panels called Smash or Pass. So there's a Delicious in the Dungeon and an anime version. So that's really cool. There's a lot of stuff, and then we also have our friends OMG Games out of Barrie, Ontario, and they come every year. They set up. They set up board games, all kinds of board gaming, and they do a Magic the Gathering tournament, and they have all sorts of kind of stuff going on. And they're doing evening drinks. So as long as the bars open, as long as the parties are going, you can be up there playing board games and drinking as well. And they'll have like the more Cards Against Humanity type of games, the more adult themed types of games happening there in the evenings as well. So there's gonna be a ton of stuff to do in the evenings. At YetiCon. It's going to be really interesting this year.
Yeah, very choose your own adventure.
It is very choose your own adventure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like it like I said, when I was originally talking with Keith, because he mentioned he was going to the show, my brain immediately he mentioned, they're doing like an After Dark thing. I was like, oh, and like I said, one, I like the idea because you're allowing people to have their space to do their thing. To get a little naughty, a little risque, and enjoy themselves without feeling weird about it, and without like having to be concerned of, oh, what if a kid sees me, or what if, right, like that scares me the most. And it's not
unfiltered and not have to stress. You
just do your thing, and I love that. So thank you so much for that. We are, unfortunately, at the end of our hour. However, I wanted to allow, because I'm having a blast, do you want to focus on anything else, whether it's day or night, Is there anything else you want people to know about prior to the show?
Well, one thing I do want them to know is that the schedule is still being uploaded. So I've had a lot of comments from people, especially on our Discords. We have a Discord server, so please join that. It's a great source of information. Who've commented, wow, the schedule is so busy. There's so much happening on the schedule. I still have about 15% more scheduled to upload to the website.
Oh my God.
And the section that you're looking at is not the main schedule that's uploaded there either. There's like 100 items on the schedule on the website right now. So stay tuned. There's going to be a lot of stuff added, and we have 2 very popular influencers doing panels that have not been announced at all yet. So that's going to be a really fun announcement to make as well.
Okay, I mean, I think that sounds amazing. Then in that case, Brendan, I look forward to seeing how you do with the chair dancing lessons. I guess we'll wrap up the interview in my normal fashion then. So from all of you, I guess I'll ask to sort of prime to let people get excited for YetiCon. From each of you, at the con, what is the most exciting event or panel or thing that's going on that you want to make sure you can check out?
Let's
okay. So much to choose. Probably from just because I get to like work on some of the decorations, the Iceberg Lounge Bunny Hill Showcase. If you've been following some of my streams, you know that I've been working on a Mr. Freeze Bunny mashup. So that's been really fun. And then just kind of creating this giant room that's very like Iceberg, little hint of Penguin DC actual.
I was gonna say Iceberg Lounge, the Penguin, of course.
You'll notice a theme when you're there that we just kind of pulled all the wintry terms out of every fandom we possibly could. So we just have some really cool ideas for that. And then the Mountaintop Gala and the foam party. Like, don't make me choose. There's too much.
Very fair.
Yeah. I'm gonna do 2. And I mean, I'm excited for absolutely everything, of course. But there's 2 that we haven't talked about yet that I'm extra excited about. One is a murder mystery event, and it takes place in a big room, and it's all in character cosplayers, and you have to search the room and figure out the murder mystery, and it's very involved, and it's just a really cool panel. These girls spend months planning it out, and I'm so pumped for that one. And the theme, and I'm still learning a lot of anime, and it's Danganronpa, I think is what it's called. I think it's a video game or something, but the theme is really cool. I'm super pumped about it. And then the second thing, and we actually just signed this up, finished the details on this one today, is there is on Saturday night, there is an event, an idol sort of showcase. Think of like America's Got Talent. And it is called Heartthrob, the hottest men in cosplay. And it is, and so there's a convention in the US that does the hottest men in anime. And so this is sort of a spin on that. And it's for people to sign up and, be the character that you want to be in, do your sexy strut or your dance or your skit or whatever. And Bren, who's organizing it. And then so far we've got Nate Weir, who's going to be one of the judges. And he's known as a little bit of a thirst trap kind of influencer as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun to have him there. And so those are 2 that are things that I've never experienced before that I'm just like, I have to be at that. I really have to be at that.
And how do you top that?
Cool.
I just work here, man. But I would say for me, aside from burying battle damage props in a 6-foot deep coffin, I would say that I'm really most looking forward to the Frostfire Gala. Just more upscale Asgard theme, but the fact that it's up on the mountaintop, it is absolutely breathtaking. You will never go to a con and experience anything like this. Taking a gondola up, it's just going to be like nothing anybody's ever experienced before. So I am all hyped up for that. I think that's just going to be legendary. And by the way, it's also YetiCon's 10th anniversary this year, so we are doing it big.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, amazing. Congratulations. Big shoes to fill. But from the sounds of it, I think the three of you have got this handled. That's amazing.
Oh, someone actually thinks we have it handled.
I do. I think it's
There is one.
It all planned out well. I believe in you. Then I guess, you know what? My last question for tonight, unrelated to the con, I suppose not given fandom, but what is it that you guys have all been enjoying recently to try and de-stress? Whether it's a book, a comic. I mean, for me, it's always comics, but books, comics, games, TV shows. What's keeping you happy?
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
for
go.
me, it's always it's taking a character or concept that should not exist in the real world and bringing it to life. So like it's like Mr. Freeze as a Playboy bunny concept. But what I recently just finished, and maybe this is more catering to your audience, is probably one of my favorite builds I've ever done that really helps calm my anxiety when I like can finish a project. Is I did Absolute Wonder Woman, and probably one of the most fun builds that I've done. So
Amazing. I'm curious, what version of her weapon did you choose?
the
There
this
we go.
one, the giant sword that I had to put behind my printer.
Yes, large enough. Oh my god. Amazing. Well, then I hope you get to show it off at the show. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. And good, yeah, that getting able to complete a project, the brain feels good.
Complete as like you guys know me. I never like fully finish anything, but like that one gets like a check.
Love it.
That's awesome.
And Angela and Brandon, what have you been enjoying lately?
It's almost a little embarrassing to admit to this community, but Call of Duty Zombies.
Oh, right on. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we those are our date nights, and we we'll play duos. That's quite a bit of fun.
Yeah.
Solo wise, I've been playing a lot of Arc Raiders, which is great.
Mhm.
Right on. Yeah.
I'd say one of my favorite things to do though is to play Shadows of Mordor with our 4-year-old son Tommy.
Oh, hell
He's so
yeah.
funny.
That's
He trash talks.
that's special time, and he kicks ass. He's really good.
Yeah.
He gets that from his mom, but yeah, he's yeah. So those are the things that we do for fun.
Yeah, a lot of video games. It's nice to just kind of kick back. I put my headset in, Jenna Lee get on the phone, and we start talking about planning out one of the events, and I'm just smashing some zombies or playing Civ 7 too. I love Sid Meier's Civilization
Oh,
games,
right
so.
on.
But yeah, so we're fully a break because we're still planning the whole time. But
I'm sure
it's-
of it. Yeah.
lots of video game stuff. And then one, what's that word that you use for it? Guilty pleasure is we've been watching this awful, trashy show called Canada Shore. And it's like it's like a Jersey
so
Shore.
bad.
It's so bad and we can't stop watching. It's like watching a dumpster fire. You want to see if it's going to explode, right?
Oh,
And
God.
it is so bad. And it's got Snooki. It's like the Jersey Shore Canada remake. And so we've been watching that. It comes out every Thursday. It's so awful. You won't be able to stop watching it.
All right. Well, the people have heard it here. Canada Shore. And it comes out. It looks like it comes out
Thursday.
live. The episodes are named
I don't
after
work for
dates.
them or anything.
I was just gonna say you better start contacting them for a sponsorship at YetiCon now.
Awesome. Well, all three of you, Saphira, Angela, Brandon, thank you so much for taking the time to come on the show.
Thanks for having
and
us.
Thanks for having us.
Sorry, our community is a little bit wild, but we
Oh, no. Chaotic is good. Let your freak flag fly and enjoy what you do. To the folks out there in YouTube land, one, if you're coming from YetiCon's community, welcome. Thank you. Be sure to like. You've left tons of comments down below. Subscribe for more, mostly comics related stuff.